One sunny afternoon, Amaka was walking back to her hostel after a lecture when Bayo, a popular guy on campus, approached her. Bayo was tall, handsome, and always dressed in expensive clothes. Everyone admired him, and many students believed he came from a rich family. "Hello, Amaka," Bayo said with a charming smile. Amaka stopped and looked at him, surprised. "Good afternoon, Bayo," she replied politely. "I've been watching you for some time now," Bayo said confidently. "You are different from the other girls. I like you and I want you to be my girlfriend." Amaka was shocked. She had heard stories about Bayo and how no girl ever said no to him, but she knew she couldn't accept his offer. "Thank you, Bayo," Amaka said, "but I can't be your girlfriend. I'm not interested." Bayo's smile disappeared for a moment, but he quickly recovered. "No girl has ever said no to me before," he said, laughing. "But I like you even more now. I won't give up." Amaka walked away, hoping that would be the end of it. The next day, Amaka was sitting in the school cafeteria with her friends when Bayo walked in. He was carrying a bouquet of flowers and a fancy-looking handbag. Everyone in the cafeteria turned to watch as he walked straight to Amaka's table. "These are for you," Bayo said, placing the flowers and bag on the table. Amaka frowned. "I can't accept this. Bayo, please stop." Bayo smiled. "You don't have to answer me now. Just think about it." He turned and walked away, leaving the cafeteria buzzing with excitement. Amaka's friends stared at her in disbelief. "Amaka, are you serious?" Ada, her closest friend, asked. "Do you know how much that bag costs? And these flowers, why would you reject them?" "I don't want anything from Bayo," Amaka said firmly. "But he's rich and handsome," another friend, Nkechi, said. "What's wrong with you?" Amaka shook her head. "It's not about money or looks. I just don't trust him." Her friends exchanged glances. They thought Amaka was being too difficult. A few days later, Bayo tried again. This time, he sent Amaka a brand new watch and a box of chocolates through a delivery boy. Amaka refused to collect them, but her friends wouldn't let her hear the end of it. "Amaka, this is madness," Atha said. "If you don't want the gifts, give them to us, but don't keep rejecting them." Amaka sighed. She was tired of arguing with her friends. The next time Bayo sent her something, a pair of designer shoes, she accepted them and gave them to her friends. Bayo noticed she was finally accepting his gifts and became even more determined. He began to call her every day and send her sweet messages. Slowly, Amaka's heart softened. "He's really kind," Amaka thought one day. "Maybe I judge him too quickly." One evening, Bayo called Amaka and said, "I know you don't truly trust me yet, but I promise I'm a good person. Let me prove it to you. Just give me a chance." After thinking about it for a while, Amaka finally agreed. "Okay, Bayo, we can date, but there is one condition. No sex until we are married." Bayo paused for a moment, then said, "Of course, Amaka, I respect you and I will wait." Amaka smiled, feeling she had made the right decision. But little did she know, Bayo had other plans. Amaka was beginning to enjoy her relationship with Bayo. He was always so generous and kind to her. He sent her gifts every week. Bags, shoes, dresses, and even cash. Everyone on campus noticed, and her friends couldn't stop talking about it. One afternoon, Amaka and her friends were sitting under a tree on campus chatting. Ada leaned closer to Amaka and whispered, "So when are you going to stop pretending and just marry Bayo? That guy is a jackpot." Nkechi laughed. If I were you, I'd never say no to anything he asked. Do you know how many girls want to be in your position right now? Amaka shook her head. It's not all that. I like him, but I've told him there would be no sex until marriage. Ada gasped. No sex? Are you serious? Amaka, you are missing out. Bayo is too fine for you to set that kind of rule. That's my decision, Amaka replied firmly. Her friends exchanged knowing glances and laughed. A few days later, Bayo invited Amaka to a fancy restaurant. It was one of the most expensive places in town. Amaka wore a simple dress and arrived to find Bayo waiting for her, looking sharp in a white shirt and black trousers. You look beautiful, Bayo said as she sat down. Thank you, Amaka replied shyly. During dinner, Bayo looked into her eyes and said, Amaka, you are the only girl I've ever loved. You are special. Amaka blushed. She had never been with a guy who treated her like this before. Bayo reached for her hand and said, I know you have set some boundaries and I respect that, but I hope you can trust me completely. I would do anything to make you happy. Amaka smiled. I trust you, Bayo, but I need time to feel comfortable with everything. Take all the time you need, Bayo said with a smile, though inside he was growing impatient. As Valentine's Day approached, Amaka's friends became even more excited. They were all planning to spend the day with their boyfriends and were busy talking about the gifts they hoped to receive. Amaka, what are you and Bayo doing for Valentine's? Nkechi asked one evening as they sat in the hostel. I don't know yet, Amaka replied. Ada rolled her eyes. I bet you're going to waste the day doing nothing. You are such a novice. Amaka frowned. What do you mean by that? Don't you know Valentine's is for lovers? Nkechi said. Bayo will expect you to dress up, go out with him and, do what lovers do. Amaka shook her head. I've already told Bayo no sex until marriage. Ada laughed. If I were in your shoes, I'd gladly give him what he wants. A guy like Bayo doesn't come around every day. Amaka felt uneasy. Her friend's words made her feel like she wasn't doing enough for Bayo. She began to wonder if she was being too strict. 2 days before Valentine's Day, Bayo called Amaka. I have a surprise for you, he said, but I want to give it to you on Valentine's Day. Let's spend the day together. Where are we going? Amaka asked. It's a surprise, Bayo replied, but I promise it will be special. And don't worry, I won't do anything you're not comfortable with. Amaka hesitated. Okay, she finally said. The next day, Bayo sent her an expensive iPhone as an early Valentine's gift. Amaka was stunned. When she showed it to her friends, they couldn't believe their eyes. Amaka, you are the luckiest girl in the world, Ada exclaimed. If I were you, I'd wear the hottest dress on Valentine's Day and make sure Bayo never looks at another girl again. Do you think he will give you more gifts if you make him happy? Nkechi asked with a wink. Amaka smiled nervously. She didn't know what to think. That night, as she lay in bed, Amaka thought about everything. Bayo had been so kind and generous to her, and her friends kept telling her she was lucky to have him. I don't want to disappoint him, she whispered to herself. Maybe I should give him a chance to show me how much he loves me. Little did she know, Bayo had a very different plan for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day finally arrived, and the whole university was buzzing with excitement. Students walked around in red and white outfits, holding flowers, gifts, and chocolates. Amaka's hostel was no different. Her friends were busy dressing up and sharing their plans for the day. Amaka, are you ready for your big date with Bayo? Ada asked, winking as she applied makeup in front of the mirror. Yes, I'm going out with him later, Amaka said, hesitantly sitting on her bed. Nkechi came over with a short dress in her hands. This is what you're wearing. Bayo won't be able to take his eyes off you. Amaka stared at the dress. It was shorter and tighter than anything she had ever worn. I'm not sure about this. It's not my style, she said. Ada groaned. Amaka, stop acting like an old woman. You have to dress to impress. Bayo got you an iPhone, didn't he? The least you can do is look good for him. After much persuasion, Amaka finally agreed. She put on the dress, paired it with high heels, and let her friends do her makeover. When she looked in the mirror, she hardly recognized herself. You look hot, Nkechi said with a grin. Bayo is going to fall in love all over again. That evening, Bayo arrived in his sleek car to pick Amaka up. He was wearing a designer suit and holding a bouquet of roses. You look stunning, he said as Amaka got into the car. Thank you, she replied shyly. Bayo took her to a fancy hotel in the city. The lobby was decorated with red balloons and flowers, and couples were everywhere, taking pictures and laughing. Amaka felt out of place but didn't say anything. I booked us a private suite, Bayo said as he led her to the elevator. Amaka hesitated. A private suite? Why can't we just eat in the restaurant downstairs? It's Valentine's Day, Bayo said with a charming smile. I wanted to do something special for you. Trust me, you will love it. Amaka nodded, though she felt uneasy. When they got to the suite, it was beautifully decorated with candles, rose petals, and a table set for two. There was even a bottle of wine chilling in a bucket of ice. This is beautiful, Amaka said, looking around. I told you, I wanted to make this special, Bayo said, pulling out a chair for her. They had dinner, and Bayo kept the conversation light and funny. Amaka began to relax and enjoy herself. After dinner, Bayo handed her a small box. This is for you, he said. Amaka opened it and gasped. Inside was a gold necklace and a heart-shaped pendant. Bayo, this is too much, she said, her voice trembling. You deserve it, Bayo said, moving closer to her. But there's one thing I want to ask you. Amaka's heart raced. What is it? Let's make tonight unforgettable, Bayo said, placing his hand on hers. You are the only girl I care about, and I want to show you how much you mean to me. Amaka froze. She knew what he was asking, and all the warnings her parents had given her about boys came rushing back to her mind. Bayo, I told you I don't want to have sex until I'm married, she said firmly. Bayo sighed and leaned back in his chair. Amaka, do you know how many girls that would kill to be in your position right now? I've done everything to show you how much I care. Don't you think I deserve something in return? It's not about what you deserve. It's about my values, Amaka said. Bayo frowned quickly, masked his irritation with a smile. Okay, I understand. Let's just relax and enjoy the rest of the evening. As the night went on, Bayo poured her a glass of wine and encouraged her to drink. It will help you relax, he said. Amaka took a sip, then another. She didn't realize the wine was making her drowsy until her head began to feel heavy. Are you okay? Bayo asked, guiding her to the bed. I think I need to lie down, Amaka said, her voice faint. Bayo helped her onto the bed and covered her with a blanket. Rest for a while, he said, though his eyes gleamed with a sinister light. Amaka closed her eyes, unaware of the danger she was in. Amaka woke up to the sound of faint music playing in the background. The room was dimly lit, and the smell of scented candles filled the air. For a moment, she felt disoriented. She sat up and realized she was still in the hotel suite, lying on the large bed. Bayo, she called out softly, her voice shaky. I'm here, Bayo replied, walking in from the balcony. He was holding 2 glasses of wine. His charming smile was still plastered on his face, but there was something unsettling in his eyes. You fell asleep, he said, placing a glass on the bedside table. I didn't want to disturb you. Amaka rubbed her temples. I feel a bit lightheaded. It's probably the wine, Bayo said casually, sitting on the edge of the bed. Drink some more, it will help you feel better. No, I think I've had enough, Amaka said, pushing the glass away. She glanced at the clock on the wall and noticed it was almost midnight. I think I should go back to my hostel now. Bayo's smile faltered for a moment before he stood up. You can't leave now, it's too late and it's not safe. Just stay the night, I promise I'll take you back in the morning. Amaka hesitated. But Relax, Amaka, Bayo interrupted, his voice soothing. You're with me, you have nothing to worry about. Bayo moved closer to her, sitting back down on the bed. You know, I've been thinking, tonight could be the perfect time for us to take our relationship to the next level. Amaka's heart raced. Bayo, we have talked about this. I'm not ready for that. Bayo's expression darkened, but he quickly masked it with a laugh. Amaka, you're so old-fashioned. Do you even know how many girls would do anything to be with me? And I'm here. You are acting like you're better than everyone else. Amaka felt a pang of fear. It's not about being better than anyone. It's about my beliefs and what I want for myself. Bayo stood up, pacing the room. Beliefs? He scoffed. Do you think your beliefs will buy you an iPhone or pay your tuition? I've given you everything, Amaka. All I'm asking for is one thing in return. Amaka shook her head. If you think that's what love is, then maybe I shouldn't have come here at all. Her words seemed to ignite something in Bayo. His charming demeanor vanished, replaced by anger. You think you can insult me and walk away? Bayo grabbed her wrist, and Amaka's eyes widened in fear. Bayo, let me go, she shouted. He didn't listen. Instead, he pushed her back onto the bed, his grip tightening. You've had your fun playing hard to get, but tonight you are mine, he said coldly. Amaka struggled, tears streaming down her face. Bayo, please, don't do this. But her pleas fell on deaf ears. Bayo overpowered her, ignoring her cries and resistance. Amaka's heart broke as the person she had begun to trust betrayed her in the worst possible way. After it was over, Bayo got up and adjusted his clothes, leaving Amaka sobbing on the bed. You will thank me later, he said with a smirk, as if nothing had happened. Amaka called up, shaking with pain and disbelief. She couldn't understand how things had gone so wrong. A few minutes later, Amaka began to feel an intense pain in her stomach. She clenched her abdomen, groaning in agony. Bayo, something is wrong, she whispered. Bayo glanced at her, unconcerned. You are fine, it's probably just nerves. But the pain grew worse. Amaka started screaming as she felt something moving inside her. Bayo, help me! To her horror, Maggots began crawling out of her private parts. She screamed louder, writhing in pain as more maggots poured out. Bayo stood frozen for a moment, then grabbed his phone and wallet. I have to go, he muttered, heading for the door. Don't leave me, Amaka cried out, reaching for him. But Bayo didn't look back. He opened the door and walked out. When he got to the lobby, the receptionist noticed he was alone. Where's the lady you came with? She asked. "She's resting," Bayo said, avoiding eye contact. The receptionist frowned. "You can't leave without her. Hotel policy requires both guests to check out together." Bayo's face hardened. "Mind your business," he snapped. But the receptionist's instincts told her something was wrong. She called the hotel security. When the security team arrived at the suite, they found Amaka lying lifeless on the bed, her body covered in maggots. The room reeked of decay and the sight was horrifying. The police were called immediately and Bayo was arrested as he tried to flee. The hotel lobby was chaotic. Police officers swarmed the area, questioning staff and sealing off the scene. Bayo sat in handcuffs on a chair, his head bowed but his face devoid of remorse. Whispers filled the air as guests and workers speculated about what had happened. "She was so young," a receptionist muttered. "How could someone do such a thing?" another added, shaking his head. Amaka's lifeless body was carried out of the hotel in a body bag. The sight sent shivers through everyone watching. Among them was a sobbing hotel staff who had seen Amaka earlier in the evening, full of life and dressed for what she thought was a celebration of love. Bayo was taken into custody and interrogated. The evidence was overwhelming. The police found remnants of a strange powder and charms in his car, as well as receipts for ritual linked to dubious activities. Under pressure, he confessed. "Yes, I used her for rituals," Bayo said coldly. "She wasn't the first and she won't be the last. People like me survive because we are smarter than the rest of you." The confession sent shockwaves through the community. It became clear that Bayo's lavish lifestyle wasn't funded by family wealth or legitimate means, but by the blood of innocent people. When the news reached Amaka's parents, her mother collapsed in grief. "Not my daughter," she wailed. "We raised her with good morals. How could this happen?" Her father sat in silence, his face pale. Tears dropped down his face as he stared at a family picture of Amaka smiling brightly. "She was only trying to fit in," her younger brother muttered. "She didn't deserve this." Amaka's friends from school visited the family, but their guilt was evident. They knew they had played a part in encouraging her to accept Bayo's advances. "Uncle, we are sorry," one of them said, kneeling before Amaka's father. "We didn't know it would end like this." Her father looked at them with a mixture of anger and sorrow. "You pushed her into this. You should have protected her, not lead her astray." The girls cried, but it was too late. The damage had been done. News of the incident spread across the university and beyond. Students who once admired Bayo now cursed his name. "We thought he was living the life, but he's a monster," someone said. When Bayo was brought to court, a crowd gathered to see him. Some hurled insults, while others demanded justice for Amaka. The judge listened carefully to the case, and after weeks of deliberation, Bayo was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder, ritualistic practices, and fraud. The sentence brought some relief to Amaka's family, but it couldn't bring back her life.